Alrighty, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Serving Nerve, where we talk about whatever we want, and today we're going to be getting through some alpha male cringe compilations. Yes. So, kind of breaking down what an alpha male is in this context. It's somebody who's, like, societally dominant, socially dominant, somebody who's very capable and competent. That's kind of, like, one of the, like, main points that is pushed with the alpha male content online. It's like, you don't want to be controlled by others, you want to be confident and capable and not controlled by other people. It's got a lot of Andrew Tate vibes in there. Like, if you've seen Andrew Tate, it's going to be a little bit like that. If you've seen, like, you know, alpha male content online, it's going to be a little bit like that, like not being controlled by women, not being a simp, etc. But usually this kind of perception has been overtaken quite commonly by, like, bedroom-dwelling dudes who've been hurt by women and usually don't have very much confidence, or maybe have, you know, come from being super socially insecure, maybe financially insecure, and they're just kind of trying to find their way, and they adopt a lot of the alpha male content and whatnot. So it's kind of a mixed bag of tricks, but we're gonna go through this compilation and see what it's all about, and then kind of break it down, see if we agree or we disagree. So yeah, let's just get into this. You can flirt with my woman. If she flirt back, she is now yours. Okay, so the spelling's terrible. Flirts instead of flirt, but bypassing that, if a woman is going to flirt with somebody else who flirts with them and you're in an actual relationship, that's just disappointing. It's called having a bad relationship, and yeah, drop the woman. But the other thing is, why adopt these kinds of, like, perceptions and behaviors and then push them through tweets on Twitter? That's the weird thing I find about this. And also, if you're gonna try and make something deep and edgy, at least learn to spell. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but the power behind grammar and being grammatically competent is very, very important. If you're trying to push a point and you're trying to really convince an audience and, like, you know, give a certain, like, perception, then definitely having good writing will convince people more. Having good writing will convince more people of anything that you write down. If you can't write to save your life and you can't even put flirts instead of flirt, it's actually going to be a genuine problem. But the other thing I have to point out is not even to do with the relationship you've garnered between you and, like, a chick. It's the friends that you also have, or the people that also surround you that happen to flirt with the people that you're with. That's also a very unhealthy perception to have, or an unhealthy relationship to have with your friends. If your friends are so uncaring of you that they would think to flirt with somebody that you're going out with, that's also a serious problem. Loyalty in a relationship between two people is incredibly important, and it seems to be that if you have friends that are flirting with your girl, that's a problem. If you have a girl that's flirting with your friends back, that's also a serious problem. It's just gonna make you super insecure and unable to trust either of the parties. So I'm just saying, I know this is just a tweet, but if you actually deal with this kind of thing, one, you need better friends, and two, you need a better girlfriend. I'm just saying, my dudes. Do not do these following things or she will chase you. Okay, what are they? Put her in the friend zone. I don't know. It depends on the person, I think. Never compliment her on her looks, okay? Flake on her from time to time. See, that's just called being a bad friend. It's not good to be a flaky friend in general. It makes you look like a douche. Being a flake is one of the worst things you can be between males and other males, females and other females, females and males. If they're your friend, then you shouldn't be worrying about this shit, and it shows that you're insecure. And the other thing I have to point out is it says, follow to become a gentleman. Flaking on your friends is not a gentleman thing to do. And also, ghosting or replying very late is also not a gentleman thing to do. It just shows that you're a bad friend. And I don't know why people have such a severe perception of female on male friendships. It's not like the girl's gonna automatically want to hop on your dick. You're probably not that hot, or she might have a boyfriend already, or whatever. But even if she does, you don't have to be a jerk to dissuade somebody from wanting a relationship with you. I don't understand the non-confrontational elements of this, because to be an alpha male, what you want to do is be able to be confrontational with somebody. You want to be able to just be forward with people, fearless in regards to your social interactions. You don't want to be controlled by other people, and you especially don't want to have to go around corners and do these weird, like, half-assed ways of avoiding somebody's confrontation or whatever. Like, I don't even know what the point of this is, but it's definitely, at the very least, not a gentleman thing to do. Talk to her about other girls that you like. That's actually a smart move if you're trying to, like, kind of, like, keep things in the friend zone, is talk about, like, other girls, other guys, you know, kind of, like, note that you are interested in other people and not them. If you talk about other girls in front of them, they're gonna kind of feel like they're more of, like, a guy's guy than a guy's girl. You know what I mean? So that's actually kind of a smart thing to do if you're trying to kind of like keep things more on the platonic element, is talk about other like interactions that you've had with other people, romantically, maybe sexually, whatever. But again, like a lot of these things are not very gentleman-esque. So this is a tweet from Wealth on Twitter. A lion will never eat grass, no matter how hungry he is. Be like a lion. Never lower your standards because someone expects that from you. Okay, 1, yes, never lower your standards if somebody, expects that from you or whatever. It's always good to have high standards, but that means that you also need to meet other people's high standards. You can't be a loser and then have super high standards. You need to meet in the middle with somebody and have that level of, mutualism. It's what makes a balanced relationship. You give and you take. But the other thing is, lions actually do eat grass, bro. They don't make it a massive part of their diets. It's not nutritionally, needed. It's usually just used to kind of like get them to either throw up so that they can rid themselves of something that's irritating them. It's also used to help with digestion, help with an upset stomach. They just eat little bits of it. Cats also do this. It's a feline kind of play. And it's ironic because this person doesn't even know what animals do. So I don't know why you'd be comparing a human to an animal and also make a stupid claim about an animal that actually isn't accurate. It's just stupid. It's like these people are like 12-year-olds that never actually make any of the like logical points that an adult could make. It's like these people are kind of children or bedroom dwellers. And I should know, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm no better. I'm a little bedroom dweller, but I'm not gonna like hide around and act like an alpha male just because like, oh, I can't score. Like it's just stupid. Instead, like, grow a pair and go outside. Touch grass. Touch the grass that the lions never eat, alright? Like, I'm just saying, my dude. Like, this is just cringe. At least have a level of understanding as to the animals that you refer to. Like, geez Louise.
She said yes. I fucking hate when men say that. Oh my god, she said yes! Why are you with a bitch that would say no? Why are you with a woman paying for her dinner, sleeping next to her every night, not fucking all these hoes, not cheating, behaving yourself, coming home, not hanging out with the boys, you're doing all this shit for that bitch, and you're not 1,000% sure she would say yes?
Okay, so I'm assuming this is in the context of like marriage proposals and whatnot, and like being like, oh my god, she said yes. If you put that much time and devotion into a relationship, and it's a lengthier relationship, then yeah, they should say yes. You put a lot of time and investment, especially if you're not like screwing around with other people, you're being a responsible adult, you're being financially competent, and you also are doing all these other things and creating a wonderful living situation for the two of you, then yes. The other important thing to note is how long you've been in a relationship for. If you've been in a relationship for 6 months and all of a sudden somebody proposes marriage, that's kind of a red flag in some capacities, unless you're like super duper religious and everybody marries super young, or unless you are, I don't know, kind of like a wackadoodle and like just super impulsive, then marriage 6 months makes sense. But if you're in it for a few years, then it's like, all right, bro, like, if you're in this intimate relationship, maybe you live together, whatever, sure, marriage makes sense. The other thing though is, either way, the individual could have insecurities or second guesses about going and getting married or getting accepted for marriage. It's just a very normal thing. It also depends on how you propose. Like, oh, are they gonna like the way I'm proposing to them? Will they think I value them enough? Etc. It's just what it is. Like, I don't think it's that deep. I think it's just like normal human insecurity. I don't know.
And you're sitting there going, I hope she says yes. And then if she does, you're happy?
How to be less of a simp. Unfollow all female models on Insta that don't provide any value. Yeah, it probably will make you considerably less of a simp. I can't disagree with that. Especially if you're just following them for like, naughty content or just to look at juicy peaches. Yeah. Stop watching adult movies. So yeah, adult content, inappropriate content, the material of the masters, you know what I mean. Yeah, if you are finding that you have an issue with watching those kinds of things, it might not make you less of a simp to do that, but if you find that you have an issue with getting like really addicted to, doing that all the time, every day, it also can give you a really unrealistic perception of, sexual interactions and whatnot. So that's also important to note. I don't think it's a good idea to watch these kinds of things. in most cases, especially since people easily can get addicted to watching this kind of content consistently. And also, I have made a video talking about, you know, is whacking it like good or bad? And the number one thing I noted in that video is it's not about whacking it or not, it's what you're watching while you whack it. A lot of people I know have become super duper duper kinky, predominantly because of the materials that they watched online during their pubescent years. And they say, yeah, watching it, a lot of the people I know have said, yes, watching that has given me a very poor perception of what to get off to. And now I can't get off without looking at these materials, or I need this sort of stimulation or whatever. And I can't have a normal relationship with the people that I try to have it with because I have this problem with this kind of material. In part, it can also perpetuate an incel culture because you're not really going out and like meeting women or going out and trying to score. You're just going out and hiding in your bedroom. I really don't think there's anything wrong with avoiding this kind of material. I'm just saying. I actually do kind of agree with this. It's dependent on the person though, because some other people can just watch whatever and not be addicted to it or not develop any like super weird habits of watching this kind of content all the time. And they also can, you know, not like develop unstable perceptions of relationships by watching it. It just depends on the person. The number one thing also is the age range when you're watching this kind of stuff. Like if you're 12 and you're watching things like this, it's not a good idea. If you're an adult, then it's kind of more one of those things where it's like, you're more developed at that point. You can probably figure things out or become less obsessive about it, you know, when you're a little older, but I could be wrong. Stop being the go-to person for girls to whine about their boyfriends. I mean, you have every right to make female friends, and then they can cry about their problems to you. I feel like the important thing to note here is if they're your friends, you should be able to confide in one another about your problems, whether they're relationship problems, social issues, whatever you want to talk about. And if that happens to be that the girl has a boyfriend and she's talking about her boyfriend problems to you, and maybe you can give better perspective because you're a guy, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're just some loser that all the girls that go on dates with you will, like, I don't know, chump up, I guess, then sure, that's a problem. Maybe stop being the go-to guy in that regard. But a lot of the time, if that's the case, you're probably the one perpetuating that situation. Like, if you come off as a super simpy guy and you're dating girls or going out with girls that also have boyfriends, then they might confide in you. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Like, this one's a little bit of a weird one. Unfollow all girls you have no personal contact to. So if personal contact just means like camaraderie, friendship, you know, whatever, relationships, whatever, then yeah. I agree. I think that you should unfollow all the people online. All the people, not just girls. All people online, I don't think you should be following them unless they give you actually, like, good advice. Unless they're, like, a YouTuber you like to watch or something like that. Or, like, somebody on social media who has, like, good content they put out or something like that. Or it's just a content feed that you enjoy. But if you're just following random people willy-nilly, either to get more followers or because of the way that they look and you don't personally know them, I think that's really weird. I don't really understand it. I've never been very big on social media to just look at people. So I think that might be part of my perception. But I just think it's very odd how people will, like, look at other people online and want to follow them sheerly because of their body. Although, now that I think about it, coming from, like, the bodybuilding scope of things, I did particularly enjoy looking at pictures of people's musculature so that I could try and adopt the same. So if you're playing by body goals as well, then it might be a little different. It's the same thing as, like, some guy wanting to get yoked, looking at other yoked guys online and being envious of their physiques. I don't know. It's like motivation. If you look at the people like they're motivating, then I'd say there's probably nothing wrong with it. I don't know. It's a mixed bag of tricks because this is a little bit subjective. So that's the video, my people. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think of this alpha male content? And what do you think of, I don't know, what I was saying about the alpha male content? And yeah, that's it. Tell me what you think, and I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all next time, my people, and it has been lovely. Slater.